Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Oh
Hi.
my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, so obviously we're going to be doing writing sprints. Super excited. But first, I'd love for everybody to just like do a quick introduction of themselves and maybe what they're working on. And also in the chat, also do let us know what you're working on and if you have any questions that you want us to answer, because we'll have like a little bit of chatting in the beginning, then a writing sprint and kind of chatting in between too. So, okay, Brooke, do you want to start by
Sure.
introducing yourself?
Yes, my name is Belle Brooke. It's a pen name. I am working on a eco romantasy called Project BK, and I'm on my second draft, which is a complete rewrite. But that's okay. Trudging along. I'm on chapter 14.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on today.
Okay, let's see. Maybe Lynn, would you like to go next?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lynn or Lindy Jung. That is my full legal name, which has been causing me trouble.
Yep.
I am, sorry, I got super off track, but I am working on revisions for Moth's Blood, my debut dark academia adult fantasy coming out next fall.
Yay.
So excited for it. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's going to be so good. Hello, everyone. I'm Cody. I post videos here on YouTube. I am also the author of The Ghostwriters Club. It is my first book, my debut novel, if you will. It's a thriller mystery set on a college campus where one of the members of a group turns up dead, and they have to figure out what happened to her. But for this stream, I'm going to be working on this, which is my second book that I have printed out and marked up. And I'm currently working on draft 2, and today I'm starting with chapter 14, question mark? Yes, chapter 14.
Very nice. Love that. And then, hello, my name is Joy. You're on my channel currently. And today I'll be working on Project Phoenix, the second draft. I only just started the second draft, so I'm like about 6,000 words in. And yeah, it's also going to be pretty much a complete rewrite. But like, honestly, I'm really excited to see kind of where it's going. I feel a lot more comfortable with the story now and with the world and with the characters. And yeah, it's, if you don't know, it's a high fantasy with a romantic subplot, and currently gothic vibes is what I'm going for. So we'll see kind of where it goes. But yeah. Okay, I do want to say hi to some of the people in the chat 'cause there's lots of people. So let's see. Bella is here. Hello. And Leah, Araya, Carrie, Tia, hello. Oh my gosh. Annie, Shadow Flight. Oh, I love this lineup. Honestly, I'm so glad that everybody could make it to this day because it's great. Oh, Carrie is working on my post-mortem outline of the first draft. Oh, and this is the question maybe I'll save for later when we come back to the questions. So I'm going to star that. We'll circle back around. And then let's see. Araya's working on reading and annotating draft 2. Very good. I was there for draft 1 like a couple weeks ago. Prod by Sora. Hello. Oh, Stu is here. Larry's here. Lynn, we have the same exact initials. I just now realized. Actually, I just now realized that too.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
I
funny.
literally did not make that connection either. Okay. That's so funny. All right, J.K. Lambo's here. Currently working on revising chapter 7 of my pastry chef rivals to lovers novel, Project Sugar and Spice. I think I said this last time, but I do love that project name. It's so good. And then Sarah, of course. I'm so happy to be here. Let's see. Leah is redrafting chapter 8 of my political fantasy. Also, yeah. Hello to Cody's cat. I don't see
Yeah, she's
your
in
cat
my.
in the frame anymore, but oh, what's her name?
Her name is Duchess.
Duchess.
Icon.
Yeah.
She is, look at her. Oh my God.
She's just so unbothered by everything. She's like, I don't care as long as you
I
let me lay in your
aspire to be
lap.
Duchess. Yes. Okay. Oh, Jamila's here. Hello. I actually literally met Jamila yesterday, actually, like in person for coffee, which is very fun.
Oh my
So
God.
fun.
And then okay, Annie, I'm drafting my high fantasy, of which you're almost at the end, Annie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's it's scary. Endings are scary. At least they are for me. And then Sarah's working on revision notes after finishing draft 1. And oh, that's okay, Bella. Like, no worries. We're just glad that you're here for whatever you can make for. Rye is here. Hello. And Tia's brainstorming project ribbons and drafting project acceptance at the same time. I mean, listen, I've been there. I've been there. Okay. Amina's here. Oh my gosh, I feel like so many chat things are happening. Okay. Larry is working on chapter 7 of Anarchist. Very nice. Hello, Duchess. Yes, yes.
She
And
knows she
then
has fans. She
oh
knows.
yes. Yes. Oh, Tanya. Sorry, I was just planning on lurking unseen because I might not be able to stay, but Jamila, enjoy meeting. Yes, actually, Jamila, Mick, and I were able to get together since we all realized we live in the same area. So that was really fun.
Fun.
That's so
Yes. Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, we talked for like 3 hours straight. No writing was done, but that is completely fine with me.
Listen, that's what happens.
But yeah,
Yeah.
We meet up.
because you
Yeah,
have such
yeah,
a short amount of time together. You're like, what? We can write later.
Yes.
I wanna
Oh,
talk.
absolutely. Yeah, especially when you first are meeting each other and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like we get to talk about writing
Yeah.
and like connect. Oh, it was so fun.
And then you're like,
Okay.
you're real. I can touch
Exactly.
you.
It's like I can give you a hug, like you're a person in the flesh. Yeah. And then Bella, I'm working on a dystopian cyberpunk-esque sci-fi with Star Wars and arcane vibes. I'm sold already. That sounds amazing.
That does sound
And,
amazing.
we'll write today. Yes, we will write today. I love it. Okay, and then I did see a couple questions, so maybe I'm trying to see. Actually, these are kind of related to each other a little bit, so maybe we can kind of tie them together. So the first question was just best revision tips in general. And then the other question was, how do you guys keep yourself from spiraling when you have huge revision reworks of the plot? So kind of revision tips in general, but also like the spiral. We all know the spiral.
Oh, the spiral is real.
Yes, yes. So let's go ahead and answer this, and then we can maybe start the first sprint. Does that sound good?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have any initial thoughts that they'd like to share?
I mean, I have a couple. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very like, I mean, I feel like it's everyone's advice, but really with revisions, the thing that helps me is to compartmentalize. Because whenever I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this large binder full of revisions that I need to do, it can feel very, very overwhelming. But if I just like take that and I break it down into a smaller chunk and I just look at the prologue, suddenly it's so much more easy, like attainable to do.
Yeah.
And I don't feel as like stressed about the amount of work that it will require. So if you're looking at the big picture, try breaking that picture down into like smaller little sections and to make it easier for you to compartmentalize. And because, you know, a little bit here and there eventually leads to the big picture. So
Yeah.
Also, I want to add in, like, it's okay to like spiral for a little bit. You should allow yourself to feel that because it is a lot, especially if it's the first time, because I definitely did. But then after a while, like Cody said, compartmentalize, move on and go and move forward and do what you need to do. But you got to feel it, because if not, if you're holding it all in, you're going to break at some point at the most inconvenient possible time. So there's that.
Yeah. I think for me, so obviously, as far as the revision stage goes, like I'm not super deep into the revision stage, and I've like revised things in the past, but this is my first complete manuscript that I'm actually revising. Because I've done lots of short stories, but never a full book. This is my first complete book
and
with
it's a lot
Project
to
Phoenix.
look at.
Yeah, it's a lot more to look at than just a short story. So the process has been very different for me so far, but honestly, so in terms of tips and revision reworks in general, like I feel like they kind of go together for me. I spent like almost 2 months away from Project Phoenix between the first draft and beginning the second draft. And I did kind of like, I did a reverse outline of the whole thing because I am more of a discovery writer. So I tried to have an outline and got completely derailed. So it was really helpful for me to initially do a reverse outline so that I knew kind of just at least the facts of what happened throughout the plot. But then after that, yeah, I pretty much didn't touch it for a while. And then when I returned back to it, I had so many more ideas and I just felt less connected and attached to the words that I had already put down. So it felt honestly more exciting to me to change things at that point. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or if in general, taking a large amount of time between drafts would be helpful to other people. But at least for me personally, it really helped me to detach myself from the initial story. And now I feel like it's going to be so much better, even though I am pretty much completely rewriting the whole draft. But the other thing too, while I'm rewriting, I use Scrivener, and I have draft one, like I have a split screen. So I have draft one on one side and I have the second draft that I'm working on the other side. So I do try to pull things that I can. I found that stuff like description and that sort of thing carries over pretty well because the setting is still very similar. At least, yeah, because the second draft, I'm mainly making those plot changes and some character changes and that sort of thing. But yeah, the rest of it, I've shifted a lot of things, clarified the stakes, and that just requires some more intentionality with the world and the character interactions and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
The split screen one was going to be mine. So.
Yes,
but
sorry.
Thanks. No, I'm kidding. I think if I have anything to add, you guys all had really excellent points. It's that there's like no single way to revise or even to write.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as you know, I've been doing this for a minute, I kind of revise as I go, and the common advice is to like not do that, but it's just what works best for me. So don't necessarily take other people's advice to heart, especially if it doesn't work for you in your process, because I don't think revising as I go, it makes me a little slower, but it's revising easier. So
I mean, but in the end, does it really make you slower? Because if you combine drafting and revision time
it's true
together, then it might end up just equal. We should do an experiment and see.
Honestly,
put me in the lab.
You can finish the manuscript.
Yes. And just one more thing that I wanted to just add to the final thing is also when you're doing, for me, when I do revisions, I'm also trying very hard to point out the things that I'm doing well, because it can be so easy to get lost in all of the things that need to be fixed, and you're like, wow, I'm a horrible writer, I can't do this, I'm like, what am I even thinking? But when you point out all the things that you're doing well in the midst of all of the red ink, then it also kind of it helps you, gives you little nuggets to find along your revision, where you're like, oh, okay, I'll do like that, that's nice.
You get a little like dopamine or serotonin.
Because revision is draining for me. But I find that finding the positive moments for sure help.
And once you're, done revising like a few chapters, do you feel really like comfortable with where they're at? Honestly, so like you can have like, alpha and beta readers, right? Where they're kind of reading a little bit more intentionally, they're answering questions, trying to help you. But it's also kind of nice to have hype people too. It's nice to like be like, I'm going to send you a chapter, and honestly, I just need you to kind of like encourage me, like tell me what you like about it. And, like if you feel like you're spiraling and you're like, my writing is horrible, it is helpful to have some friends that will just encourage you. And like, they're not necessarily going to criticize what you have, because if you're maybe not ready for feedback, you don't need to open up that. Just be clear, like, I just need encouragement,
and just make sure it's someone that you trust.
Exactly, and they're not gonna like tear you down or whatever. Just be clear, like, hey, I'm not really looking for feedback, just let me know if this like if there's anything good that's here that you see. And usually other people can see those good things better than you can. So all right, well, with that, do we want to do our first sprint?
Let's do it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm going to make a cup of coffee, and then I'm actually going to sit to write.
Honestly, that sounds
I had it brewing during this first little Q&A moment.
Nice. Okay, I currently have it as 30 minutes. Do we want 30 minutes? And the chat can also maybe provide input. How are we feeling today for our first sprint?
I feel good about 30. Yeah,
I'm just down. 30. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, So I'm down to do whatever.
I feel that. Yeah. Okay, perfect. 30 sounds great to me. That's good. Okay. 3 hours. Yeah. Excuse me. I think that's more of a marathon, actually, than a sprint.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get started. So good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hello, hello. How did everyone do? How'd that go? How do we feel?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Very good. Let's see. I got just over 500 words, which
Ooh.
was good.
Yay.
Yes. And yeah, it was all pretty much new words because I had to completely rewrite an interaction. So it's all good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got through chapter 14. I did all the notes that I wrote down, but as I was doing some previous chapters, I added some notes of like some conversation that I need to kind of transplant into this chapter. And so I almost finished up adding that conversation in. So chapter 14 is almost done. So slay.
I
good.
got 549 words. So that's not too bad. It's not the best words, but it's down.
I mean, in 30
Yeah.
minutes, that's great.
That is great.
Thank you.
I got through chapter 7 and now I'm in chapter 8. Just going through line
Wonderful.
by line. Yep.
So good.
Yay.
Nice. Also, now that I have unlocked the split screen potential of Scrivener, I fear I may be
It's a game
unstoppable.
changer.
Because I have
a game changer.
my draft 2 notes on one side and then my draft on the other side, and it's so fun.
Yeah, it's so helpful. Okay, it looks like we do have a bunch of friends that joined us over the course of that sprint, so I just want to greet people. Okay,
Hop in.
Hannah's here. Val is here. Miley, hello. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, Charlie Ray is here. So fun. Let's see. Oh my gosh, yeah, the chat was so active. I'm like, wow, there's so many people. Ari popped in to say hi. So that's awesome. Let's see. Oh, Cranko's here as well. Hello. And Margot.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
So many
Oh my
friends.
gosh. And Sierra. Hello. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Okay, Abby. Oh, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Sarah brainstormed some ways to create clear goals in draft 2, which is good. Emma got 664 words. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is amazing. Student lunch segment, very good. We love food.
That's real. That is so
I-
real.
Full support and nutrition. Okay. Let's see. Oh, snuck in a few minutes of research for a short story. Did a read through of one big scene. Revised most of chapter 1. The novel resubmission. What is that? I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Is that the competition for like $100,000 or something ridiculous?
Maybe. It
Wow.
must be. Because, like, I mean, that'd be nice. And Shadow's like, I got my reverse outline done for the moment. I still want to go in and specify some things. Awesome. And yeah, you're right, Val. It's been a complete party. I was like, oh my gosh, so many people. Okay, well, if anyone has any questions, we can have like a little bit of a chatty moment. Oh, and I missed Annie got 812 words.
She's always on fire. I swear.
Wow.
Annie.
That's incredible. Okay.
That's awesome.
Wow. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or like anything else that they want to share in the chat or whatever, we can chat for a little bit before jumping into the next sprint. So yeah. Oh, Jamila just gave us an update. I got about 400 words. First words of my first draft of my novel. Gotta go. The kids are struggling and gotta help them get out of the house. Very good. Well, I'm so glad that we're able to help. Then Fal says happy pride. Also, I feel like Cody is wearing the perfect shirt. So very fun. Okay. Well, I don't see any questions, but if you guys have questions for each other, we can also do that too.
I have to think of a question now.
Joy and Brooke, you're both working on heavy rewrites, right? So you're like rewriting your first
Yes.
draft. As someone who also rewrote their first draft of Ghostwriters Club, I'm curious is like what was it about your first draft that required it to have a full rewrite? Because for me, my entire book, the first go around, was written in the wrong POV. And so that's why I had to do a big rewrite. So I'm just curious as to like why you're needing to do a full rewrite because I'm nosy. So
Oh yes.
Oh. Can I say everything about it?
Whatever you feel like sharing.
The protagonist just wasn't who she was meant to be. She's just not it. And so because she wasn't who she was meant to be, the story just wasn't telling the story that it's supposed to, if that makes sense. Like the plot wasn't there. But once I got her down, like when I was doing revisions, when I was, I did reverse outlining like Joy did. Once I got it down, like it just came much more naturally, So she just wasn't right. I didn't know her yet until after I finished the first draft, where I'm like, oh, that's not her. So that's why I'm doing a complete rewrite. The voice wasn't correct, and if that's not there, then it's just part of that story isn't going to come to life, if that makes sense.
But I love that though, because I feel like you wouldn't have discovered all of these things if not for that first draft, and so it still had a purpose, even though it feels like right now you're kind of like throwing it all away. It still had a purpose, which is still cool,
Yes, I still have it right here, and if I want to reuse some of the scenes, and then I'll just rewrite a little bit of it. But yeah, definitely was worth it. It just kind of sucked for a little bit there.
Oh yeah. I had a whole mental breakdown when I realized I had to redo the entire book. I was like, like I just spent 6 months writing it. No, I have to rewrite it.
Girl, same. Yeah.
It's hard out here.
Yeah. I feel like for me, so of course, like I pantsed a lot of the book. I mean, I tried outlining, but like outlining just doesn't really work for my brain. Unfortunately, I've tried it multiple times, but I always just I always wind up feeling really, really stuck when I try to outline. But the ideas flow and I get to know my characters through prose. So like I just kind of had to discovery write the plot and the world and the characters. But of course, when you're discovery writing all those things and coming up with things on the fly, it just is a big mess. So what I wound up with, I mean, I have many scenes that I really like the prose, or I feel like, okay, there are some scenes that really, that's the core of the character. And I had found it, but the rest of the draft, I was kind of bumbling around trying to just experiment and figure out what worked and try to figure out what the story even is. Now I'm trying to adjust my process for like future projects so that I don't, I'm trying to do more of a zero draft than a proper first draft, or like something that's more polished for my future projects, so that I can kind of go through that discovery process without putting so much time into it. But of course, Project Phoenix was my first time fully writing through an entire draft because I was a beginner of many projects, but never a finisher of them until Project Phoenix. So so it just, the fact that I just discovered so many things in the process of writing, it just, when I did the reverse outline and when I looked at it, I just had so many more ideas and so much more clarity of what the story was even supposed to be at that point. And it was just so different, like the plot and the world, it was just all so different. And even some of the characters too. I realized that some characters that I had added in were pretty superfluous. Oh my gosh.
That's a big word for Elmo.
It's Saturday. It's okay. It's okay.
Glitching out completely. Yeah, some of the characters were superfluous. There we go. I can talk. Okay. And I also realized that like my main character's motivations and her backstory also needed to change. So it just, everything, it's a domino effect, right? So like every little thing that I was changing with the world and the characters and everything, I was like, at this point, the skeleton largely is mostly remaining the same. Like a lot of the big beats of the story are the same, but all of the meat, all of the guts and the everything else, the organs, let's use more body terminology, I guess.
Yeah.
Muscles, the joints.
Welcome to Human Anatomy and Physiology with Joy.
Yeah, exactly.
We are no longer sprinting. We are giving a lesson.
Yes, I am so qualified. Not at all. But yeah, just realizing all of the things that filled in the gaps needed to change. And so I feel like it's just easier than to frame the second draft as a rewrite than to try to go through and do surgery on the first draft that I have.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier for my brain to be like, you know what, we're just starting over, and I can pull some things over here and there, but for the most part, it's a
Yeah.
fresh slate. And that's something that I've actually found really more comforting than anything, and
Mhm.
exciting, because now I actually feel more confident in what I'm writing.
Nice.
So
Slay.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it does look like we got a bunch of questions that flooded in. I don't know if we can make them to all of them, but we can try. But let's see. Oh, Shadow Flight did say, I'm the same Joy. I've tried outlining again and again, but I can't figure out the story without writing it. Yeah, it's just everyone's brain works differently. So,
I
you
outline
know,
in a way that's almost like, you know, like when you go bowling and they have the bumpers that you can like raise up. So I kind of like the ball is going to get from point A to point B. It might bounce a little bit in the middle, but it's going to get there. And so I feel like if I don't have that kind of like just like general outline, like bumpers to follow, then I will be I'll be 3 lanes to the left if I don't, you know. Like
yes. Oh, Val did say, are we writing or becoming serial killers? I mean, where's Alyssa in the book?
Right. Alyssa, is she about to spawn? She's going to spawn in chat and be like, did someone say serial killers?
Yes. Oh, and Dami's here. Hello. Hello.
Oh my gosh, Dami, your book cover is phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
So true. I'm so excited for Children with Gifts. Oh my gosh. I can't talk.
Added Dami's book on Goodreads. Go do it.
Yes. Children with Gifts. Yes.
It looks so good.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let me look at the questions that I starred. Okay. What? Oh, this is an interesting question. Miley asked, what genre do you want to see a resurgence in or get a makeover? Interesting. I'll have to think about that for a second. So if anyone wants to share right away, feel free.
I'm like obsessed with regional Gothic. So you know, like Southern Gothic, Midwestern Gothic. I want, I guess, not a resurgence, because I don't know if it was ever like trendy in literature in recent times, but like I want to see it spread. I want to see like the more niche and place specific it is, the better.
I love that. That's actually really cool, because I also love Gothic. I mean, obviously I have lots of Gothic vibes going on in my fantasy, but it's, you know, I love that.
No, that's good. Gothic fantasy in general is having a huge like uptick
which
right now.
I was happy when I like started. I guess I didn't realize that when I was like drafting, and I like kind of cracked that open, and I was like, oh yeah, this is Gothic. And then I noticed, oh wow, okay, there's a lot coming out right now. So hopefully I can like ride that wave. We'll see if Project Phoenix is ready in time, but also if not, that's fine too.
I mean, mine's not really a genre. It's just more, I guess, more like a trope that I kind of want to see more of a resurgence in. I really want to just see more emphasis placed on platonic relationships instead of romantic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like right now, romance, I mean, nothing against romance. If you love it, that's so fine. But I feel like it's so there's so much. And I just want to have a nice book that focuses mostly on platonic relationships and friendships, because you know, I just love that kind of stuff. And so that's a big part of the fantasy that I plan to write is going to be very, very focused on. There's going to be a little bit of a romance subplot, but it's mostly going to be focused on platonic friendships and found family, that kind of vibe. It's basically Steven Universe meets the Hunger Games. So.
Yes, I love that.
I'll second Cody here, because it is like really rare to just find even like just friendships that just become something that lasts, because that I feel like that's more realistic sometimes for people to have closer friends as family. So it would be nice to see that, but romance is not going to go anywhere. You know, it's been there forever, but friendship is a good one. One that evolves, one that can highlight the ups and downs of a friendship, because that is so real, and to see how it could be portrayed in a book in a realistic way, that would be awesome to see. Especially for me specifically, like female friendship is quite a dynamic. That would be great to see. I think Is it Becca like doing like a Sailor Moon kind of like female
Yes.
I
Oh
think
my
so,
gosh.
yeah.
her new
What is it?
project?
Project
So
Blue? I'm so excited
yeah,
for
Project
that
Blue.
too.
it would be awesome to see that if she does
Yeah.
explore that, because I think female friendships are so cool, but it also
Mhm.
changes in each season, you know,
Yeah.
you're at.
Because
Yeah,
friendships can go
absolutely.
so emotionally deep. Like, and I just
Yeah.
feel like we don't show that enough.
Yes.
The very
Mhm.
deep emotional connection that you can have without feeling the romantic vibes, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like our society needs it nowadays too. Like so many
Yeah.
people are really lonely and like just don't have that richness in friendship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know, seeing that demonstrated through art and through books and that sort of thing, I don't know, I
Mhm.
think could be encouraging potentially for people to try to seek that out more, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome. And then Miley did say, yes, Lynn, I'm writing an Ozark Gothic anthology for that reason.
Ooh.
That sounds so
Which
fun.
Ozarks.
That sounds absolutely incredible. And yes, there's lots of love for Gothic. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And my initial thought was actually dystopian,
I
which
do
like
love a dystopian.
yeah,
hands
a
It's been
down.
a
lot of
while,
people
yeah.
were also saying dystopian. So like Abby said dystopian when it's done well, it's fascinating and brilliant, hopefully with a slight removal of the romance focus that was in the dystopian renaissance. Honestly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a whole discourse going on right now about like
Yes.
romance and dystopian, and it's like,
Yeah. Should you focus
yeah,
on survival in a
In,
new
in the words
environment?
yeah,
of
Like
in the words of Rihanna, we found love in a hopeless place.
yes. No,
that is true.
like no hate, but also, yeah, it might be interesting to explore that more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yes. And then, oh, Carrie said, yes, Cody, my project has zero romantic subplots and is focused on finding friendship and community instead. And I feel a little like an outsider that there's no romance at all. Oh my goodness.
You're not
Well,
an outsider because I
you're
would
not.
read that.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that would, you know, and there are plenty of
Mhm.
people that aren't necessarily interested in romance either. And like, don't get me wrong, I
Mhm.
love romance. Heck, I have a romantic subplot in my book, and I probably will in many of my books. But I also
Yeah.
have some
Mhm.
concepts where like romance is not involved either, like future
Mhm.
products that
Oh
I want to
yeah.
write.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't think I obviously romance is having like a big thing right now, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's always going to be that. Um, Oh, actually, there's a request for recommendations for stuff
Oh, okay.
with great friendships,
Um,
it looks like if you know of any.
the two most recent ones that I can think of are I've recently read Legends and Lattes, which is
Oh, yeah.
basically about a
Yeah.
bunch of like magical friends starting a shop. There's a cute little mouse that bakes delicious baked goods. Like I love him.
Aw.
And then
Mhm.
most
so cute.
recently, actually one of my pride picks for this month, I just finished The House in the Cerulean Sea. And
Oh,
there is
on my
a
list.
very, very,
Yeah.
very light romantic subplot to that. But for the most part, it is like all these like magical kids and their friendships. And it is the most wholesome book I have ever read. And
Mhm.
I truly think that that's one of like my new like top 5 favorite books of all time. Like I
Wow.
really just enjoyed it. It was just a very cathartic experience to read it and to see, you know, the big message in it is it's kind of like Wicked. Just because someone is capable of evil doesn't mean that they'll act on it, and just because
Mhm.
someone looks
Interesting.
differently than you doesn't mean that, you know, you should fear them or
Yeah.
marginalize them. Like it's such a beautiful story, and yeah, highly recommend. Those are my two, I guess,
Love
found
that.
family vibe
Yeah.
books that I've most
Yeah.
recently
Maybe I
read.
should bump that higher on my TBR because like it's been on my TBR for
Yeah.
a while. And like it keeps
Mhm.
like rotating on my Libby and I'm like, oh, I have to wait because I'm reading something else right now. But yeah, I've been
Yes.
wanting to read it. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I guess another question, we can do another one. Um, First draft motivation tips. I'm early draft one and feeling good still, but know there will be days to come where it will be tough to keep going. That's real.
I think. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Lynn.
okay. I'll go ahead. Sorry, it's always so awkward when there's like I don't want to cut anyone off, but I think draft one for me personally, and my caveat is always like what works for me doesn't work for everyone, but that's
Mhm.
where a routine comes in the most handy
Yeah.
because it really is just about like kind of getting through it.
Mhm.
And also, a routine is handy because with a first draft, I think it's very easy to lose momentum or to fall out of the mindset of the story or fall out of that immersion if you're not being like somewhat consistent, whatever consistency looks like for you. So yeah, just establish the routine early when you still feel good about it, and then stick with it even when it gets a little tougher.
I was actually going to say the same thing because it's for me, writing is like working out. It's like it's a habit that you
Yeah.
just practice. I do it every day. I was telling Lynn and Joy that I wake up really early in the morning. I do my routine, and parts of that is it's writing for a certain amount of time, and then moving to the next thing, whether it's working out or cleaning or what have you. But since I've made it so part of my life, like even on those days where I just don't feel like it, if I get down 100 words or even less, maybe like 2 or 3 words, like at the worst, right? I still wrote it. And then the next day, if I feel better, it'll just keep happening. But I do find that with the routine and the little things that I do, it starts my brain it allows my brain to start flowing, like I'm ready because this is the place that I do this and this is the stuff that I do. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, the structure and routine thing is huge. I think so with Project Phoenix, I had started it in March of 2024. And like the first 6 months where I was writing it, I mean, I was trying to make it pretty polished, but I was not, I was like, oh, just kind of casually writing it. And I made some progress, but it was very slow progress. But then eventually I got to, I think maybe October or November of that same year of last year, 2024. So it'd been many months. And I looked at my word count and then I was thinking, okay, my predicted word count, it's probably going to be like 100,000 words for my first draft, at least, because based on where I was at in the plot. And I was like, I don't know, it's probably going to be like 100K. So then I calculated, how long at the rate that I'm going, will it take me to finish the book? And actually, when I sat down and did the math, I was like, oh no, it's going to take me 2 years to finish this first draft. I'd better at the rate that I'm going. So I'd better go a little bit quicker because I didn't want it to take that long. I wanted to, because I knew I was going to have revisions. I was going to have all these other steps. And I don't know, I guess just doing the math and realizing, deciding, okay, what's your time frame, your goal? I mean, it's obviously not something that's you're tied to it, right? It's very much something that you can set personally. And if something comes up, you can adjust it. But for me, having the accountability of a goal really helped. So at that point, I decided, you know what? I feel like it's reasonable for me to finish the first draft within a year of starting. For me personally, obviously, it's going to be different for every single person, what time frame works for them. But I was like, I really would love to have this first draft done within a year of me beginning the draft. So then I was like, okay, how many words do I have to write each week in order to reach a goal of 100,000 words by the end of March? So I did the calculations and it was 4,000 words a week. And I said, okay, that's doable. I can't write every single day necessarily because my schedule is very irregular, but I figured, okay, if I just have a weekly goal, then as long as I meet that weekly goal, there's some flexibility within the week, but that will keep me on track. And so there were some weeks where I was a little bit under 4,000 words, didn't quite meet it, but other weeks where I was over 4,000 words, but it averaged out. And I had that very specific word count goal within my mind because I knew this is when I want it to be done. And so that kept me going, I guess, just having the specific numbers in my mind. And again, everyone's different. Some people I think like to have rewards or something where it's once I finish the draft, I'll get this thing. I think I was more motivated by just knowing what I had to do to get it done, if that makes sense. It was very clear in my mind. This is exactly what I need to do. And I just need to follow this and then it'll be finished. And then I can worry about revisions and stuff later. But as long as I finish the first draft, we're good.
100%. Yeah. My tip doesn't really revolve around a routine, but I found this the note. This is something that I started with my second book. Before I even started drafting it, I made a little note. I don't know how well you can see it, but it says why project terms and conditions. And so I just listed all of the things that I was so excited about with this story while I was still feeling all of that excitement. So once I kind of hit that midpoint slump, I could look back at it and remind myself, why did I choose to start this story? Why did I choose to start writing it? Why is it special? Why is it important to me? And I feel that's something that I'm going to be doing with pretty much every book that I write from here on out, and just have something that I can always go to whenever I lose that why of why I'm doing this. Because it's easy to get frustrated and to lose sight of that, why you started, whenever you're in the midst of a however many 1,000 word document that you're working on, And so, yeah. But just to share a few that I wrote down, like Countdown to a Storm, spooky ghost vibes. And then just some motivational things that I put towards the end was this book will inherently be better than my last because I've grown as a writer in the last year. This story is so fun, and I'm grateful to my creativity for coming up with the premise.
Yeah.
My friends on YouTube are so excited for this story. And then the last one that I put is let it sink in that this is your second book. And then the little shocked emoji. And so, yeah, just little things, because at the end of the day, writing is such a solitary activity. So if you're not your own hype person, then what can you do?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it can be really easy to get caught in that like self-critical space,
Yes.
where you're kind of like beating yourself down. So as much positivity as you can bring into the process, I think that's going to help you a lot.
For sure.
And then let's see, maybe we can do maybe like one more question and then another sprint. Sounds good to me. How about you guys? Sound good to you? Okay.
Works for me.
Okay, here's an interesting one. This one is directed to Lynn. Miss Lindy Young, do you have any advice on writing a best friends to lovers subplot in a fantasy book? Not to put you on the spot, but I kind of want to know too.
I did clock this earlier, so I was thinking about it a little bit. This is very specific, so I think I'll give like general romantic subplot. I don't know. And I would say like treat it like what it is, which is a type of plot line. So don't treat it as like an accessory. Be like, this is a plot line that has its own arc. Characters develop along with that arc, and also like they should have obstacles to face. And so I think that, all of these different tropes, best friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers, all of them are defined by their specific obstacle. So for best friends to lovers, the obstacle is getting over the fact that you're friends to like accept your feelings for each other. Not in every situation, like I can think of exceptions, but so identifying that and then figuring out where that goes in the story along with the rest of the plot is, I think, maybe like key or step one. That's how I would approach it. But outside of that, I've never written this type of story. So I don't really know. Kind of just, write good characters with it and think about it as a plot. And that's really all the advice I have to give. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say as well.
Yeah, I guess just in general. So I really like what you said, Lynn, just about in general, like treating it as a plot line and having like obstacles and conflict wrapped into it rather than it's just like, oh, la-di-da, this is happening. But I would say for me, and just bouncing off of the have good characters thing, like I'm gonna circle that like 5 more times because I think I've read some romance novels where like the POV character is more fleshed out, but then the love interest is just like very flat and only serves the POV character. My favorite romances are ones where both characters are fully fleshed out, fully realized, both have inner conflict, both have their own mess and things going on, and they have to like come together and do life together and figure it out with both of their messes. Rather than like, oh, I'm gonna, be a knight on shining. What's the phrase?
Knight in shining armor.
Shining armor.
Like, wait a minute. My brain wanted to also say like a white horse, and I was like, that's not the phrase.
A knight in shining white horse.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what it is. I feel like I cannot speak today. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I woke up early this morning. Okay. Anyways, my brain is so fried. But yeah, I do think it's just so important. Long story short, have good characters. So
yeah. My biggest thing is that every character in your story is the main character in their own story.
Yes.
And so they need to all have their own motivations, their own reasons. So, because literally all these people are just living their life and your plot hits them upside the head and brings them into it. And so you have to think about what were they wanting to do with their lives before this plot sucked them in and made them a part of the story, So 100%.
I'll agree to everything that they said because each character should be their own person, have their own background, their history, have all their motivation. Because if you think about it, it's a real person in your story. So you want someone whole before they get together.
Absolutely. Fal also made a good point. I think figuring out why the friends haven't been lovers by the point the story starts is important for the plot. That's a very good point because I think sometimes it's a little bit like unbelievable, the best friends to lovers, if it's just like they've secretly been pining after each other the whole time. But like, okay, what was actually keeping them from just dating?
Yeah.
Like just date,
Yeah. Yeah, that ties into the Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're completely fine. No, I was gonna say something about Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, maybe they have a blood feud between their families.
There we go. Best friends and enemies and
Right.
all the tropes right there.
I think just really quickly that like ties into having good characters and people who are like fully developed people with their own baggage. Like that baggage is probably what's keeping them apart, right? Or keeping them from going from friends to, dating each other. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a great question, though.
Yeah, that is a very good question. I really liked that a lot. And then, okay, I do want to note before we start the next sprint, Emma said, Lynn, I'm 99% certain you have on fish earrings, and I'm living for it.
I do.
Show off the earrings.
They are trout earrings.
I love those.
So cute.
I love any kind of like
obsessed.
flashy animal science earring. That's my like 7th grade teacher self coming out.
I love it.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, it's like Miss Frizzle vibes, where it's like you just go for like the crazy fun stuff. Yeah.
As I age, I'm definitely getting like quirkier with my personal style. So the
I
big
love
earrings,
that.
the
I
short
also
hair
have
now.
weird earrings. I've been getting in my weird earring era.
Yes, I love a weird earring.
Yes. Well, I feel like part of it is just growing in confidence as you get older too. Like I feel more confident in myself now than I ever have before. And part of it is just getting older and being like, you know what? I am who I am.
I don't know if it's a growth in confidence or a decrease in how much I care what people think.
That's also very true.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, like like
Yeah.
you don't like it, I don't care,
Yeah.
because I do, and that's what matters.
Yes, absolutely. Well, are we ready to start the next sprint?
Yeah.
And then are we feeling, did we like the 30 minutes or do we want something to, fireworks.
Yeah. I have so many, that's not so many reactions on this computer. I think I can do lasers.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Wait.
You could do lasers?
What? Wait, I
happens
really
like
want to
every
try.
stream.
Wait, does this work for me too? Because I feel like mine
Oh,
also.
Lynn! We're all big. Wow, that was a pride rave we just had.
We just had our first rave.
Wow.
Author 2 rave, let's do it.
Author 2
let's make
rave.
it happen. It'd be probably really quiet.
Right.
Yes, it would be very quiet. We'd all just be like, we're all.
You just dance to the sound of clacking mechanical keyboards.
Yes,
Lo-fi.
I love it.
Yeah, lo-fi. Oh my gosh, I'm listening to this lo-fi right now, and it's so good. It's like spooky. It's called 3-hour witch lo-fi hip hop, and it's so good.
What?
On YouTube.
Oh, that's so fun.
Highly recommend.
I love that. Also, yeah, Krenko said, I didn't know I was signing up for a rave. Yeah, me neither. Frankly,
We didn't know.
I'm just here. No one knew. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, hold please.
Yep, you must, actually. Oh my gosh, yes.
I just sent it.
Perfect.
I don't know how if links work through StreamYard, but if it does,
oh, I hope so. I don't know. Does anyone else see that? Because I just want to make sure. Because I see it.
I see it, but it doesn't. I have the stream open.
Yeah, if you're like one of the people up, so the chat, let us know if Cody's link showed up or not.
I also sent.
Sometimes it doesn't like always go through.
I think the rule.
Oh, they can't see the link. Oh, bummer. Can you click my comment and put it on the screen? Well, that'd be hard to type out. Maybe not. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's there, but I don't know.
Dang.
Oh, I can't see it, Lynn. That's so strange.
Oh,
okay, well that's sad.
It's like
maybe,
I guess it's probably a spam filter.
Yeah, maybe we can't send links in the chat for spam.
That's too bad. That's too
sorry.
bad.
Literally type in 3H witch lo-fi hip hop, and that's what I'm listening to. 3H.
Yeah.
with.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I'm listening to.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I have my
Did you get your
strawberry
cake?
shortcake.
I'm so jealous. I just got like a lemonade from my husband.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be a really good sprint. I'm gonna spend a lot of it eating this. Okay. But let's get started. Good luck, everybody.
Perfect.
Hello. I feel like I just came out of like a coma or something.
Right?
Like, oh my gosh, wow. How did everyone do?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was
Going
yep.
okay. It was okay.
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost finished adding this scene to chapter 14. I'm like this close. I'm just
Ooh.
trying to make the connection to the next part.
Oh, that's wonderful. Love that. Oh man, I like went back and kind of reread some bits of scenes. Actually, first of all, I ate a lot of strawberry shortcake, so admittedly that was that
As you
was like
should.
a big chunk of my sprint. And then yeah, I think I got somewhere in the realm of I I was kind of going back and forth and I didn't like reset my Scrivener. So like it's
Mhm.
hard to know exactly how many words it was, but I think it was something in like 300 or 400 words. So yeah, it was good. I guess I could do math and actually like check, but I don't even remember what I got in my last sprint. So I'm like, I don't know. My brain is not here anymore.
I was definitely struggling with some dialogue, so I'll probably have to look back into that later because
Mhm.
I didn't feel natural, and my instincts are telling me that I need to check back on it later on. But
Yes,
got
I feel
300
that.
something words. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to at least have it down and then, you can
Yes.
always tweak it later.
As long as I have the gist and what the point is, then I'll go back to it later and I'll figure it out as I go.
Yes, absolutely. And then let's see. Oh, okay, I'm catching up on the chat a little bit. By the way, Taylor actually dropped by, I
Oh.
think, which I'm very excited. And she just posted a vlog, it looks like. So check that out after this. And then Mick is done with chores and ready to write. So happy that Mick is here. Let's see. Jessica doing some beta reading today. Thanks for hosting. Absolutely. That's wonderful. Let's see. Oh, there's like a free chapter happening. Oh, Noontide. Okay. Okay, there's a free chapter. I'm sort of missing that, so I guess go back on the chat and see what's going on because I don't know what's going on. But I see Becca. You've been
Hi,
streaming for a while.
Becca.
Yes. Yes, I think we are probably nearing the end because I don't know how much I can go on.
Oh my gosh, Joy, please get some rest.
You
know,
need to
I'm like
take a nap. You
yeah,
need to
over
take a
the
nap.
course of that stream, I started getting or of that sprint, I was like, "Whoa, whoa," I'm like
Oh no.
feeling it. But DW is here. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, Cody, this witch lo-fi is something else. I'm glad that you like it, Cranko.
It
That's
was very
awesome.
good.
Yes. Oh yes. We've been hype about your magical girl story earlier in chat,
Yes.
Becca. We were
Yeah.
talking a lot
Oh
about
yeah.
that and about like platonic friendships and how we need more of those in books,
Mm-hmm.
like rich relationships and stuff. So
Mhm.
yes, yes. Oh, quick, I'll be for real. I've done nothing. Yes.
And that's okay.
Honestly,
That's okay.
We love
that's
it.
totally fine. I do the same thing sometimes where I just like put the writing live stream on in the background because I like to hear the chats and like to be around and like
Mhm.
talking and stuff. But I'm not always like in the headspace or like able to actually sit down and write. So yes, and yes, Becca, we had some good sprints and we were talking so much about your project.
We're all
Yes.
so hype. So basically, you need to start
Mhm.
writing it immediately.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
You need to
do
be
finish Project Eden. I'm very excited for Project
Yeah.
Eden, but
Yes.
That can be your time when you write in the cracks of when you're letting Eden rest.
yes, exactly.
Cody's got it all figured out. I have read a bit of Project Eden and obsessed. It was, I think, an earlier draft, but obsessed. Becca's writing is phenomenal.
It's so wholesome.
I'm so excited. Okay, Stu said pretty sure I wrote like 7 words. Honestly, it's so
That's
relatable.
okay.
That's relatable.
That happens. That happens. Oh man. Let's see. let me see how other people did really fast. Emma got 616 words. I'm in the setup phase of draft 1 and I'm getting into the groove. Oh, that's so good. Honestly, I love that feeling of like really settling in. Finish the description of the cafe of my female main character and the side character. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Setting description. Sometimes I struggle a little bit with setting description, not gonna lie. Especially in the first draft, I felt like I had to gloss over some things. Like it just takes me a little bit more time. I feel like dialogue I can fly through, but setting description is like more painstaking for me. Imagine space. We
We're
had
like the opposite.
549 words. Yeah, that is really funny.
Yeah.
When you were saying like, oh yeah, I don't know if the dialogue is right, but we'll go back. I was like, that's how I'm feeling about the setting.
With
Like,
setting, I'm good.
That's so funny. Oh, Sarah said, struggling to replot, unsure if I should try a note card or a sticky note method. Yeah, that's I don't think I've really done much like physical writing out thing, like anything with my book, but honestly, like I know some people really benefit from that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I
And
know, like, speaking of Becca, she actually, before she sits to start, she writes in a notebook, like, a breakdown of, like, what she's about to be doing, and
I
so,
love
like, that kind of
that.
helps her focus in, so maybe
You gotta
try
prime
the
your
Becca
brain.
method. Yeah.
Yeah,
See if that works for
that's really
you.
cool. I like that. Oh, Joy, I just wanted to say I'm so excited to read Project Sol and Project Phoenix. The aesthetic theme sounds so interesting, and I've loved following along with your writing journey. Thank you.
I'm
That's
also
so
excited to read
kind.
these books.
That
It's
is
gonna
so
be good.
kind. Oh my gosh. Oh, shut up, Lynn. Oh my gosh.
Never.
Okay. Never. Cody's like, chop, chop, queen, get to writing. Facts. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Emma said, I've also been meaning to join the Discord. A lot of the AuthorTube community chats about. Could someone remind me how to find it? So, Emma, I think if you DM Dami or CK Jensen on Instagram or something, they should be able to send you a link
I
to
think
at
the
least
links are on their channel too, like in their
it might be there
description or in their
too. I don't
bio.
know for sure if they still are or not, but either way, I mean, if you need an updated link, like you can let them know, and I'm sure that's
Yeah.
for the Storytellers Society, I believe. So,
Mhm.
yes. And Becca said, I need a map for my session for sure. It's so helpful. Yes. I really like that idea. I might steal that idea, honestly. Oh, I missed most of the live, but thank you guys for hosting. Absolutely. Well, we're glad you're able to pop in. But okay. Well, with that, honestly, yeah, I feel like I need to go take a nap. I was going to say, oh, maybe we can do like one more really short sprint, but I feel like I'm gonna like fall apart. It's only down.
No, don't fall
Oh my
apart.
gosh. Yeah, we've been doing this for 2
I
hours.
know.
It's yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I got almost 1,000 words. I
Yeah.
think between the two sprints, like a little bit less than that. So yes, yeah, I think I will maybe lay down.
I did also confirm if you go to CK's page and you click on the video they have like pinned at the top, that the link is in the
Yes.
description of that video. So
Perfect. Well, yeah, that's how you find it then. CK Jensen. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, I guess I will probably lay down. But okay. Do you guys want to just kind of let the people know where they can find you and that sort of thing? And maybe Brooke, you can start. We can just do the same order we did before.
Yeah, it's B Brooke Writes on YouTube and also on Instagram. And I think I have a Substack, but I literally just dump everything that's on my brain there. So, but there's that too. So
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm Lindy Jung on YouTube, and technically I have Instagram, but I just like delete the app because I don't like scrolling on it for
Relatable.
too long. But I will
Yeah.
be forced to be on it more, so I guess I'm on Instagram also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
nice. I'm Cody. I am Cody the Writer here on YouTube and Instagram. I am author Cody Wayne Morris on TikTok. And yeah, if you want to read a fun mystery thriller with some LGBTQ rep, then hit up the Ghostwriters Club. Paperback available everywhere, and the ebook is Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. So that's me.
Beautiful. And then I'm Joy. You're on my channel, Right with Joy. And I also have an Instagram. I'm not super active on it, but occasionally I post in stories and stuff like that. And one of these days I will do better at it. But that one's also Right with Joy, but with an extra Y. So yeah. This was so much fun. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. And these sprints were very productive, very good. And yeah, chat too. Thank you so much for participating. And yeah, just
One
all
final
around.
rave for the
So
chat.
good.
One last thing.
One final rave for the
One
chat.
rave.
Yeah!
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Okay, well, with that, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.